Hi. So I was looking back on my YouTube channel a little bit just to look at the old videos I used to post, and I saw that I used to do a lot of commentaries, and I mean, obviously I remember that, but I was watching my Tower Dispersed Rooms one, and I saw how stupid I sound on mic, which is something interesting. But I also remember how much fun I had making those videos, and a lot of people actually found them really helpful, so I decided that I might continue doing that. I still haven't grinded really anything since TOCR. I mean, I did get to 5 TOCP on stream once, but, like, I haven't played that tower in a while because I don't like it. But, you know, whatever. So anyway, if you don't know how to get to TOTDA for some reason, Zone 6 has been up for a few months, you go on this zip line in the sky lobby, and then you'll see, like, this little other zip line above it, and you just jump into it, and it'll take you to TOTDA. I was going to do tower brief challenges, but I decided against it because I just didn't feel like it. So, you know. Here we are. Tower of the Dripping Amalgam. So, this tower's pretty good. And hopefully I don't lag to oblivion on this. I'm going to hit the LDM button. I already hit the LDM button in the lobby, but I'm also going to hit it here. So for this first jump, you just kind of climb up a little bit and do like a shift lock flick. It's pretty easy, and it looks kind of tough at first because this jump is like not in a lot of things. It's mainly in tiered obbies and stuff, but it's not so bad. And you got some few basic wraparounds. Hit this button, go down here. I like to jump to this forwards and okay. Well, don't get button lag and then fail to jump because of button lag. My FPS is not the greatest right now, but I think I'll be fine. And if not, I'll break out the 75 FPS. But yeah, jump into it like that, and wrap into it. Go to like the very bottom of this slope, and then just wrap through. Around here. Turn a little bit before you wrap, and then like flick in a lot. This jump's kind of long. Turn to the left like this, and then hold D and just press space, so you'll get like upward momentum off of it. Lodge through this, and head up to floor 2. Now floor 2, go about like halfway on this slope, like right here, and then do a head hitter around here. I like to jump into this like that. It's a lot more comfortable for me. And here. So you get climbing animation and just keep holding S and press space after you've climbed down a little bit. So you don't have to like do any of the turning around. This falls. Line yourself up against the wall hop, jump and just press shift when you reach the wall hop. Jump, shift, and hold space, and you should wall hop and you can get on that truss pretty easily. I like to line up this jump backwards, turn to the left a little bit, and then just hold D. That's always how I've done that jump. I know it's kind of an over alignment, but you know, it's just how I feel comfortable doing it. And this jump, get up to the edge, flick about here, and then as soon as you jump off, flick to the sharp flick to the left. Because if you try it, because you could like try to do like a 180 flick, but 180 flicks don't really work unless you do a specific alignment. Wait right here for like the spinner. Just if you want to hold W here so you're not constantly jumping, you can get it. You can just like actually wait to time your jump. That's what I do. This thing rises and goes back down. Just jump into it. Wait till it's about like here, and then the head hitter. Now this, I just like to flick and go backwards because it's pretty safe, and I've never failed at doing that. It's a kind of a long jump there. Stick yourself in the gap right here, and just jump off. Do some walk arounds. Jump through this hole. This ladder flick is pretty long. I would recommend getting up to the edge, climbing down a little bit so you get more height, and then shift lock flick off. And go around. Wrap into here. Okay. Just make sure you really stick your head out from under this wall so you don't head hitter. Open this once to the gap. Peel yourself out like that. Be careful with this wall hop. Sometimes if you're not correctly aligned, you'll miss the wall hop. And it'll just jump off the edge like that. Yeah. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay. So, like I said, if you don't time it right, bad things will happen. So, do it like that. It's really just muscle memory. So, yeah. This wrap's a little far. Fair warning. Just walk off of that. Like that. Go like this. Get into the edge, turn out a lot, and then, like, kind of wiggle through. This, wrap around. Be careful not to hit yourself on this wedge. Over here. Jump off. Get into the lodge a bit before actually lodging. And then inch to the edge. Shift, jump sideways. So you go like that. This. Try to go close to your character like this and like that. Pretty easy. This part. So this is floor 4 now, by the way. And I like to hop in here. I like to wrap around when they cross middle. And then jump onto this corner and flick off. You can also walk onto it. Like, you can push yourself up against the wedge and just do like a little walk around onto it. But I think that's really inconsistent. Or I'm just really bad at it. Either one. So this jump. The marker is correct, but you have to be really careful with it. So align your feet with like the bottom of the marker. Inch yourself off like a lot. Like this much. And then hold A and jump. And hold W when you get to the ladder. I just stumbled over my words there. Jump to this, and then I like to lock myself in like that. This. Peel yourself out and push a little bit. And then jump in, wrap, and land on this sideways. So you don't get bounced. This jump's also... I don't like this jump. But, like, go up here, like, on the wedge. Hold D. Jump off, like, sideways, parallel to the wedge, so you don't, like, fall down it. And then just turn in towards the ladder like that. So these .25 buttons, you can just hold space on them. So do that. And then this, wrap out quickly. For this jump, gotta jump and turn in at the right time. It's... A lot of this tower is about timing. And just, like, timing jumps and stuff. It's a lot of muscle memory, and it's really not that bad once you get used to it. Turn out like this, and then shift and jump like that. For this ladder, go to the top of it before actually going back down to do the flick. Put your feet, like, right about here on the marker, and then flick off. This jump's probably better to do backwards, because then you can just go like that. This is another weird one. So, I like to do it from the side, and I don't like to flick normally like that, but I like to tap the direction in which way I'm facing the wall, so either A like this or D like this. I usually do it on the A side. You just tap A, and when you get in your standing position, you just jump like that. And you basically just jump on top of the truss. Like, no real flicking required. I like to do that, and then just shift and jump. It's a little tricky. The hand movement's a little weird, but it's not too bad. Stick yourself in this lodge. Once you get about here, start turning to the left, and then hold W, and completely turn to the left towards the truss. Head up this truss. Right up here. Get it to about where this ladder part is, and you can flick off. Make sure this thing doesn't get in your way, though. Alright, and first jump of 5. So, I like to go near, like, the top right here. I do a really late jump, and then I turn and face it. It's tough. That jump is really tough, actually. I've never really failed it before, though. So, yeah. Same thing with this ladder. Go to the top first. Go back down. Put your feet on top of them. Actually, go a little bit lower, like about here, and then flick. That's a good way to do it. And then this, it doesn't matter whether the truss is down or up. You can just wrap to it either way. I like to head hit her up here first, and then go into ghost mode, and then make it so A makes me go down and D makes me go up. I get down to the bottom of the truss. I hold A, and then I stop holding A when I get about here. And then I go into first person, start holding W, and it works perfectly fine. This, stick yourself in, just like the jump on floor 2, and then jump when you reach the marker. It takes like barely a second to get up there when you jump there, so be ready for it. This conveyor, you can either go on the left or the right side. I just like to hold W and just turn in towards it once I get to the end. Used to fail that a lot, but it's really not as bad as it looks. And this, be careful while you're wrapping. This is a little slanted, so make sure not to get climbing animation on it before doing the wrap. Alright, corner flip through here. Now you're on the outside. So this outside, it's unsafe, but if you fall, you get teleported to floor 3. So, it's not so bad. Head across this tightrope. Head up here. Jump to there, and then do it back. This part's fun. So, the beat block ladders, there's two different shades of red. There's like this darker red here and the lighter red. It's just also the marker. So you just jump to it, put your feet like above the marker, and flick off. There will be a few more jumps like that later on. But yeah, be careful with these like rotated platforms. Make sure you don't get your momentum killed by them. This is a wall hop onto a ladder. This could be a little tricky to get, but it's netted, so you'll be fine. You gotta like do it kind of like that. There we go. You like make sure you fall a little bit after the peak of your jump, and then you'll be able to wall hop off of it. It's a bit tricky. Do a little tight wrap right here. This wrap, turn in and go to the truss. Be careful at the top, there's a ball. You can use the ball, but I like to flick around, and then make sure you don't head header and just jump off like that. Wrap to here. Go on the left side of the conveyor and just jump off and go to the wedge. So wrap. So get to the edge of the tightrope and just jump sideways onto the slope like that. And then final jump of 5 right here. So this spinner is usually spinning, but I hit the LDM button, so it's not doing that. But once you have it in a good position where you're gonna jump and not hit it, just jump up in the air and land. And now you're on 6, and you get some button progress, which puts button progress on floor 1, floor 2, and floor 4, I believe. They're a little hidden. Sometimes you might miss it. Not really the one on floor 1 or 2, but you might miss the one on 4. It's after like the long wrap up to like the small gap on the slope that you head up. It's right before like a 4-second timed button that rises up. I don't know. But anyway, so these platforms with circle decals on them that have percentages, these raise your jump power by however much the percentage states. So for this, you do not want to jump, you just want to walk around. Pretty easy. Falling on this will also not save you, and you will fall. And same thing, if you do fall like all the way down, you'll get teleported to floor 3. If you land on the spinner by any chance, because that is possible, I've done it before, and I know other people have too, just walk to the middle and go up here and like jump or something, and it will teleport you back to the beginning of the outside. Because that's what happens if you fall on the inside. If you fall down here, you get teleported back to the beginning of the outside. So, yeah. Do that wrap fast, because this block recedes. This block also recedes, but it doesn't recede like all the way, but do a reverse head hitter and head down here. Be careful on this jump, it is kind of scary. Yeah, like that. Go here. Don't worry about this box. This box is used for if you hit this little kill brick right here. Because you jump on the button, it goes down. You just go like that. For this receding ball, jump to the middle and stay in the middle. Wait and just wait. It doesn't get too small, so don't worry about it. Wait for it to go back big and then run off of it. This jump is scary. So head down this, turn to the left a little bit, jump and hold A, and start holding W when you get near the truss. It's really important that you don't head hitter here, because you will absolutely not make it. Make sure to go down to like about here, around there, and then do it. So this, hit the transparent wall and then wrap around it and head here. and then coin flip inside, and now you have the inside part of 6. So, go here, go down a bit, jump onto that quickly, because it recedes pretty fast, and then get a good boost off of this truss and head over here. And now this conveyor, it's not too fast, so just holding jump like that, wrap around to here, do another wrap, and I do this on the left side, but be careful, it's a little far. Another like weird wall hop thing, it's not too bad. And now you get this part. So this part's pretty cool. So climb on the truss right here, get around to like the middle part right here, press space, and you'll jump off and hit the wall, and then turn to the right once you get around this wall right here, like this, like that, and hold A and turn to the right once you get around it. I love that jump a lot. I think it's really fun. So this part is a bunch of spinning glass walls where you need to wrap to the inside of them. So wrap in, hold W and A, stick yourself in, and then jump to the truss. Now we have floor 7. So get about like up to like here, and then hold A and wrap. Be careful with this jump, it's a little far. Up to here, get in the lodge. Jump and shift out, sideways, go like that. Wait for this to recede, wrap to it, quickly jump off. It doesn't go back up for a little bit, so you have time. You didn't have to do it as fast as I did it, but so this gives you 120 jump power, and this works even while climbing ledges, which you'll need to do a few times. So I like to get here, get downward momentum, and just jump off like that. And now we get what, in my opinion, is the hardest / worst jump of the tower. No, just the worst jump. This thing is really weird, because when you're like climbing up, when you're going up, it'll like sometimes put you in climbing, and it's really weird, but get in, get ready to wrap, and then wrap out really quickly. That jump, it worked perfectly. It looked like it worked perfectly fine there, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's really weird. Sometimes it'll put you in climbing animation. And it's weird. Just be aware that this little texture right here is not collidable. So you don't have like a little height boost or anything. So wrap to this button. This button won't carry you with it. That's the sign said. So walk with it and wrap out from under before it gets too high. Around to here. Go there. Click here. Click here. For this little spinner section, one of the spinners is higher than the others. This one's higher, this one's lower. You can see it. Jump to the lower one, and then let it take you around and wrap out over here. This jump's a little scary, but I like to do it the same way that I've done every single other one stud gap jump. Wrap out, and I unshift lock midair. Now this is, in my opinion, the hardest jump of the tower. It's scary. I like to just go down like this, turn to the left, and hold A, and yeah, it's kind of a blind landing, but that's how I do it. It's a really scary jump, and it takes a little bit to learn, but you should be fine as long as you practice and get the muscle memory for it. Jump to this block that goes up, and immediately jump off of it. You do not need any height from it whatsoever. Do a little head hitter here, and now we're on floor 8. So jump to this ladder, and last jump before second button progress. Do it on this side. I've seen people try to do the head hitter on this side, which is just really stupid. But wrap out and jump up, and hit the second button progress. Now this puts button progress on 6 outside. It brings you halfway through. It brings you to that box that I showed you, where if you go down on the button and hit the little cubic below it, it takes you to that box. It gives you button progress on 6 inside, where once you first get into the inside, you can go left instead, and it will take you, you have to do a little bit of parkour, and it'll take you straight to like that truss where you bounce off the wall, turn to left, that thing, right, end of 6 basically. And then it also gives you button progress on 7, which is down here. You can see this ladder. There's a now there's like another ladder And it skips like the bad jump I was talking about. Puts a ladder right here, and you can like walk across the top of that. Oh, I also forgot to mention that once you pass 5 outside, I think it's also the part of the first button progress, but you can completely skip 5 outside, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, I'm not sure. This, it would also get downward momentum and just wrap around. That jump is scary, I've seen people fail that a lot, but it's not so bad. Wrap to this and don't panic once it starts dropping, because you'll be fine. Get on this just like floor 2, except don't climb down, climb up. And then jump off when you get about here. Once it gets all the way up. And then flick off and you go here. This part's a little fun. I like to do it like this. Doesn't really matter how you do it though. Get to the part where it starts turning into like a wedge. Like right about here. Wrap out. Go here. Up here. And go here. So now you need to wrap around, hit this button, wrap back, jump here, and wrap around. Now something I always got confused about this part is that once you hit this button, I always thought that once you wrapped around and went on this side, it would recede again, but it doesn't. You can stand on that button for a while because this wrap's a little tough, and I just ended up failing it like a bunch of times because I kept rushing it. But wrap around, quickly head back. Okay. That's fun. Hold on. Okay, we're back. So, let's do this jump actually this time. For realsies. Do the jump like that. Now stand here, line up the wrap, and wrap out. Make sure you don't hit yourself on this wedge, just like the jump on floor 3. Okay, now that we're done with that. So this jump is a little interesting. Same thing was on floor 5. Got the dark red and the light red. But you don't need the blue ladder for this. You can just flick on the marker and flick up to this bar, and you can just climb it. You don't need the ladder, like so. That's just the way I always do it, but you can wait for the ladder. And a good way to tell when the beat blocks are going to change is they'll shrink a little bit. Like, you see that? Like, right there. Right there. They'll shrink a very tiny amount. So if you couldn't tell when the beat block was going to shrink, then there's your little indication. Because you're definitely going to need that for floor 10. But I jump to here, go here. This jump is kind of hard. Jump up and try to lodge. And if you get the lodge, you should be able to just slide forwards. And if you don't get enough height, just flick back and try again. For this is like the same thing on floor 4. Get around to like the second to last stud, or third to last maybe. And then start turning to the left. Wait for it to push you out. And turn forward and land on the truss. So that one's a lot harder than the one on floor 4 in my opinion. But it's not so bad. Alright, this is pretty much the last jump of 8. Just the top, this flicks a little far, so be careful. And like that. Alright. And now we're on floor 9, which has the best music in the tower in my opinion. So get up about to like right here-ish, maybe a little bit higher like that. And then hold D, jump late, and get up to the ladder. Hit this wall, wait for it to recede, and then go here. For this jump on the button, immediately get off of it, and you can just climb the truss. Now here, this jump's a little far, don't miss it. Now use the wedge up here, turn to the right slightly, and then hold A, and then once you fall off, go here. Now for the little carousel, it's like the same thing as the one on floor 2, just hold W. Since you're about as fast as the spinner, wait for the thing, and then get on it. Don't get too close to these platforms, or else their effects will activate on you way too soon. One time I was like up to the edge, about to jump on the 50, and it gave me the 50 right before I was going to jump on it, and I almost missed the jump. So go like in the middle, but you're supposed to go on the 50. So jump to the 50. And then you can either do this on the left or the right. I usually do it on the left. And now this little transparent thing is collidable. Wait for it to recede. And then jump and climb the block and jump up quickly so it doesn't push you off. Around here. Line yourself up with the marker. Turn to the right and wrap away. And then get on this truss. Go get to the left as much as you can. I don't like to go down at all before, and I just get downward momentum once it pops out. Jump to this ladder. This button goes to a truss, so wrap around and grab the truss. You can hit her on the top, and I'm just going to flick around. Same thing as floor 1. I like to just, you can just align like this and just jump off, but I like to just jump off and hold D and get upward momentum. Get around to here. Same thing as the jump on floor 4. Just shift and jump out of the gap. Now this is a 2-stud climb up times 2-stud climb up. I'm not going to show you how to do 2-stud climbs because if you're trying to beat this tower and if you've gotten this far, you should know how to do 2-stud climbs. But if you don't know how, just look it up, I guess. And then jump to this as it's going, and then jump and climb the truss. Alright, and the last few jumps to 9 aren't so forgiving. This is a bit of a far wrap. Land here. Now, what a lot of people kind of misunderstand is that there is a block up here, so you do have to wrap out. So face out and wrap away from the wall and climb the truss up to the final floor. Now this floor probably has the hardest gameplay in the whole tower, but it's not so bad, and I will show you why. So there's a marker here, and you have to go to this ladder. So you need to time it just how I showed you how to time it. Wait for it to disappear a little bit, and then flick immediately and flick around. That jump will take a little while to practice and get good at, but trust me, it is really satisfying once you do. I just jump to this forwards like that, and now I like to wrap through here, get on this, flick around, go up. I go up to the top of like every ladder before I flick off, because then if I go up to the top, then I can like move around on the ladder however I please. But if you just jump on the ladder and try to move down, you'll probably fall off of it. So align with the marker, flick, go here. Now this will start receding towards you while you have to run in the other direction. So get on the edge right here, jump, run as much as you can, and then as soon as like you're about to meet the edge, just jump and you should be able to climb that truss. Sometimes these spinners might not be moving. If they're not moving, just jump on them and they'll start moving again. But be careful.
Oh, I just realized how
Wait for them to be on the bottom. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm really bad. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so after falling back to 6 outside a few times and not wanting to live, don't do what I did last time and be the worst player. Instead, be the best player, like I am right now. Do that. That part's not too bad, just,
we're going up.
You know, work on it. And the jump into this lodge is a little scary, but it's alright. Get over to this half stud. I like to go into ghost mode like this. Go into first person, jump, and then turn sideways again. Do the same thing to get up here. It works pretty well. This wrap is a little scary, but it's not that bad. Just wrap out pretty well. Now this is a timer. It does not start when you stand on it. It is on a 5-second timer the whole time. I see a lot of people like go for it like right now because they think they have 5 seconds to do it, but then it just recedes on them and they fall. So yeah, just make sure you know that. Wait for this to pop back out. Get on it and get downward momentum. And the rest after that isn't too bad. And you should probably be able to beat it after that. Wrap out to here. Flick down if you land too high. You don't really have to do that. Just try to land like right here. And then just wait for it to head around and then flick off. As long as you like land on the part where you can flick, you won't need to move at all. Head on the button, do a little wiggle wrap. It's a little tough. Line up this jump. This jump is surprisingly a lot farther than it looks. Flick out to this truss. Now what I like to do is I like to hold W and like get really close to this part of it. Turn to the left and then get upward momentum. Do that. Now like pretty much the final jump of the tower. Line up with the landmark or just the mark, not landmark. What the hell am I saying? and flick off of it and land here. Line up the final jump, and you're done. Just make sure you actually jump out and hit the wind pad. That'd be kind of devastating if you just jumped and got flung. But yeah, that's that. So this tower is really good. I don't think I'd recommend it as like a first extreme, but maybe like second or third, honestly. It can get really annoying to loop fail the second half a lot, so definitely practice a lot if this is gonna be a new hardest for you. But other than that, just I don't know. It's a really good tower, and I rate it like 9.5 out of 10. The only things that I don't really like about it is some of the jumps just feel a little awkward. Like the slope jump on 7 that I said was the hardest jump. That jump just feels a lot harder than the rest of literally anything in the tower. So, yeah. Hopefully this was thorough. Hopefully it was understandable. I know this is all improv. I don't have a script or anything. So, you know, it may seem a little rough on the edges, and my strats may not be the best, but at least I hope it can be useful to at least someone. But yeah, that's the end of that, and I'll probably do more of these because I find them really fun. So yeah.